new psychological thriller brought to us by David Fincher starring Michael Fassbender. In this movie, Michael Fassbender plays a hitman for hire. He's currently on a job. He's supposed to take someone out. Unfortunately, something goes very wrong. He ends up missing his target and killing someone else. This is very uncharted territory for him. He has never missed. He has never messed up a job. Now he has. And unfortunately, some serious repercussions now hit him and hit his personal life. He returns home, finds his home destroyed, finds his girlfriend brutally attacked, and now he has to go on this quest for revenge, finding the people who were sent to do this job, and ultimately, who was the client that hired him and these assassins to essentially do everything that has been done or has been asked to be done. David Fincher has made some phenomenal movies. I mean, Fight Club, Seven, The Social Network, Gone Girl. The list goes on and on. I would say those are my four favorites. I think those are his best movies, but I mean, he's made so many just great ones. Michael Fassbender, also easily one of the best actors working today. I think, unfortunately, he's kind of in a time where he hasn't picked too many amazing projects. You know, he was kind of in the superhero genre for a little bit as the young Magneto. And then he did a few things here and there that got him some serious Oscar buzz, and rightfully so. Then he just kind of was laying low for a while, and now he's back. So pairing the two together seems like a match made in heaven, but I feel like the fact that it got released directly onto Netflix, this movie has just really flown under people's radar. Not to mention the people who have seen it, it's a very mixed bag. There are people out there who really love it. There are people out there who aren't really feeling it. It's got a little bit more of that Mank vibe. Mank was a movie that came out on Netflix by David Fincher in 2020, and it had more of a mixed response from people. Speaking for myself personally, I'm going to be honest, I actually really dug this movie, and the more and more I've been thinking about it, the more and more I am. For starters, I really love Michael Fassbender as this main character, the killer. We have no idea what his real name is. We never learn it. We learn of all the aliases he has and the different identities he uses, but we never know what his real name is, and I appreciate that. And I was just so intrigued by this character. I mean, initially, when you meet him, he's very just pure logic, very stoic. He has a routine that he follows to a T. And what I think I really appreciated with this character is, in a way, it kind of tried to humanize him. I mean, he's this killer. He's murdered people for hire and everything like that. But when you meet him and he gives this big monologue in the beginning, and he kind of talks about what he does like anyone else would talk about their job. He's like, as a killer, he's like, you're staking out your suspect, you're trying to find the right moment to strike, and you know, it's not like you're really following this person around everywhere. You're just in hideout. You're bored sometimes. You find ways to keep yourself focused and really trying to avoid certain details. And that's what I like seeing. This guy paid such great attention to detail. And yeah, like in a weird way, when he's talking about how, you know, he has bad days at the office where he's bored and nothing exciting is going on, I'm kind of saying, I'm like, I mean, I get you there. But getting to this right now, what I think I really loved most about this movie is the way it humanizes this hitman. Like in the beginning of the movie, he talks about how, you know, he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't act with emotion. He's always thinking through every situation very, very clearly. But the second this miss happens, he misses his target for the first time ever, he realizes that in a way, he's kind of just like everybody else. Especially when he comes home and he finds his girlfriend savagely beaten. He's going on this quest out of rage, out of emotion, out of how much he cares for his girlfriend. And along the way, you kind of see him a little bit more as this flawed human being, just like everyone else is. Like now when he's on this mission of revenge, everything that goes with it, like he's thinking in his head, it's like, okay, if I do this to that person, then, you know, I'll have enough time to do this. And then things happen unexpectedly, and you kind of see in his face, like, is he losing his touch, or our emotions cause him to not think as logically as maybe he once did? Like, it's truly an amazing character study that they do with him that I really appreciated. As a result, does a lot go on in this movie? Maybe not necessarily. And as a result, it's going to feel slow for some people. Yes. And I'm not going to say the movie flows by all that well, like, you know, fast-paced or anything like that. But I was so engaged with this movie the whole time. What I also really appreciated with him is like when he comes across the other assassins that had to do with what happened to his girlfriend, you know, the interactions that he has with them are both very different. Like with one of them, he gets into an all-out, brutal, just epic fight with one of them. That's what I'll tell you right now. This is not an action movie, so if you go in hoping for John Wick or James Bond or something like that, you're gonna be disappointed. I think that's what a lot of people maybe went into this movie expecting. This movie's not like that. I mean, yeah, you get this one fight scene. I will say this fight scene is great. It's super realistic. It's brutal. And then the other interaction he has with Tilda Swinton is very different. It's a lot more methodical. She gives this long monologue. She kind of just sits there and just talks with him. But the big thing that I appreciate is, like, even though these characters don't have as big a role as maybe you'd like them to, or they don't play as much into the story as you might feel, what I really appreciate is seeing with these assassins that he meets is, yeah, they did what they did, but again, going back to his whole thing, they were just doing their job. Like, them going after the girlfriend, it wasn't personal. It wasn't, you know, out of like, you know, oh, he screwed up and now he must pay for it or something like that. They went on that mission to find him. He wasn't there, and his girlfriend just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. It kind of just alludes back to what's going on with him in the beginning. It's like, yeah, he's just hired to kill people and assassinate people, but he's not doing anything personally. But something happened that was personal to him, and because he has a skill set that he has, he can go out and do this. And that's what really makes for some great tension and some great moments and a really impressive investigation, seeing what he is able to do with his skill set, how he's able to find the people that can assist him, that won't assist him. Hell, even by the end of the movie, when he finds out who is indeed responsible for all of it, the movie makes you feel like it's going to go in a certain direction, and it actually doesn't. In a way, I think I saw someone bring it up, like, in a way, it kind of represents the HR department in the whole way, and the whole assassin network is just like a company. Like, when higher-ups make a mistake, a crucial mistake that they should be blamed for, typically they find a way to weasel it onto the common workers, and they're the ones who pay the price for it. The end of the movie takes a very similar path towards that. Really, the story of the movie is a similar path towards that, and it was really intriguing for me to make that analogy. So yeah, all in all, The Killer, it's a different movie for sure. It's probably not the movie people were expecting, but I really dug it. Michael Fassbender is great and crushes it in the lead role. I love seeing him initially as this really logical, smart, emotionless killer that you kind of see is a lot more human and surprisingly more relatable than maybe you'd want him to be. I love seeing him on this investigation, how he conducts everything, how real it seemed. This is not like some fancy John Wick sort of universe, as much as I love something like that, but everything in here felt kind of like how a real life hitman would probably operate. Doesn't have a lot of action, which might bother some people. However, that one fight scene, fucking awesome. The characters that are in this movie, they may not be super memorable, but they bring what they need to bring to the story very well. And really, you kind of walk away from this movie with sort of what you feel like was something that told a version of what just working in any kind of company in any business world is really like. How a really bad day at the office can ruin your life, how things get brought on to people that maybe lead to them suffering consequences over what other people are assigning. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who's taking that leap, but I'm gonna roll with it. In the end, I don't think it's on par with any of David Fincher's great work, but I still think it's a very worthy entry into the movies that he's given to us. That's the thing about the great directors out there. Even if they can't knock you out with an all-time great movie like they have in the past, even some of their lesser stuff still has you walking away feeling very satisfied with it. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.